come to the end of Colossians chapter 4, 14 down through the end, verse 18. Luke, the beloved physician, and Demas greet you. Salute the brothers in Laodicea and Nymphas and the church which is in his house. And when this epistle is read among you, cause it to be read among the church of the Laodiceans, and you read the one from Laodicea. And say to Archippus, take heed to the ministry which you have received in the Lord, that you fulfill it. The salutation by the hand of me, Paul. Remember my bonds. Grace be with you. Amen. Then Paul continues as he winds up this letter, sends more greetings from their friends, gives instructions to Archippus to be strong in the Lord, to preach on, having them to encourage him to do that. And then he says, don't forget them in prison. And then he says this, grace be with you. Grace, a sweet gift of God, purchased by the Son of God for us. I love the old story of David and Mephibosheth. When David became king over Israel, he asked if there was any of Jonathan's family left, because he loved Jonathan. And Jonathan had been killed, but he wanted to know, I want to show kindness to anybody who's left alive. They said, well, there is one son of Jonathan. His name is Mephibosheth, and he's lame in his feet. He was 5 years old when the news about Saul and Jonathan came, that they had died. And his nurse picked him up and fled, but she dropped him, and he fell and became crippled. He was disabled. So David summoned this boy, Mephibosheth, and he came to David, and he fell on his face, and he went down before him, and David said, get up, get up. Don't fear. I will show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan. I will restore to you all the land of Saul your father, and you shall always eat at my table. That's in 2 Samuel 9. In true humility, Mephibosheth, of course, said, what is your servant, that you should show such regard for a dead dog as I? The king called in Ziba, the servant of Saul, and said, listen, everything that belonged to Saul and all of his house, I'm going to give to your master's grandson. 2 Samuel 9. David told the servants, and you and your sons and your servants, you till the land for him, you take care of it, you bring in the produce, so he may always have stuff to eat. But himself, Mephibosheth, your master's grandson, will always eat at my table. Ziba said to the king, your servant will do whatever the king commands. So Mephibosheth ate at David's table like one of the king's sons. And he lived in Jerusalem, and he always ate at the king's table, and he was lame in both feet. My friends, that is grace. You understand, don't you, that the heirs of the former king were always wiped out in those days, but not Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth did nothing to deserve the graciousness. Like Mephibosheth, we are helpless, crippled on our face before the king, and we can bring nothing to the king's table. But we come to the King of Kings, we receive him, and we get all the bread we need. Even though we feel like we are nothing more than a dead dog, we don't need to fear. We have come to the king. And like Mephibosheth's servant Ziba, the land that belonged to Saul is given to us. The land will produce and provide for us. We're all disabled by sin. We are all dead dogs. We brought nothing to the king's table. But like Mephibosheth, we can eat at the king's table and be like one of the king's sons. In fact, be the king's sons. My friends, that is grace. That is grace. That's what Paul wishes for them, and what I wish for you. You ponder that. Pastor Steve.